shut down, and that is why the building is closed?
Well, we were advised by the attorneys to close the building. The building shouldn't be open. The risk is great.
We think they take this serious. I think it's a big game to them, and they don't understand that the more confusion and the more back and forth that we do, no one suffers but the people of the village.
The meeting had it all. Yelling, finger-pointing, walkouts, and accusations flying in every direction. Picture a courtroom drama fused with a soap opera, and you'll start to grasp the chaos that unfolded in Thornton Township under the leadership of Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. This latest episode in her controversial political career left residents stunned, trustees exasperated, and the township's future uncertain. So, what exactly happened? Let's break it down. Ruby moment the meeting started, the tension in the room was unmistakable. Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, no stranger to controversy, wasted no time setting a combative tone. She openly criticized the trustees for skipping previous meetings, accused them of shirking their responsibilities, and even resorted to name-calling, professionalism clearly taking a backseat. One attendee likened the meeting to an old-school wrestling match, complete with dramatic entrances and over-the-top theatrics. And honestly, they weren't wrong.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard was not at the hearing here today. Neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
At the center of the chaos was a critical issue: Thornton Township's escalating insurance crisis. Since December 1st, the township has been without insurance, leaving residents and employees dangerously exposed. Supervisor Tiffany Henyard warned that without coverage, essential services such as senior transportation and after-school programs for children could come to a grinding halt. But here's the twist. No resolution was reached. Instead of addressing the urgent insurance renewal, the meeting spiraled into a shouting match with no clear path forward. Henyard placed the blame squarely on the trustees, claiming their repeated absences were the reason the insurance renewal hadn't been approved. "You all should reach out to your trustees because they are not doing their jobs," she declared, her voice reverberating through the room. The trustees, however, fired back, accusing Henyard of turning the crisis into a political weapon. Trustee Chris Gonzalez didn't mince words, alleging, "She's trying to use this insurance crisis to manipulate the board into approving her personal agenda." And if that sounds dramatic, what happened next took things to an entirely new level.
Illegal!
The nearly 3-hour meeting was a spectacle of tempers flaring and insults flying. Trustee Chris Gonzalez, who once nominated Tiffany Henyard for her role as township supervisor, has now become one of her most vocal critics. His alliance with State Senator Napoleon Harris, Henyard's political rival, has only intensified the animosity. Henyard, still stinging from losing the Democratic Caucus Township Supervisor nomination to Harris, accused her opponents of trying to sabotage her leadership. "This is all about control," she declared. "They can't beat me, so they're trying to block me at every turn." What makes this feud particularly striking is just how personal it has become. Gonzalez, once a close ally of Henyard, has not only distanced himself but has actively joined forces with her chief adversary, Napoleon Harris. Speculation among residents varies. Some believe Gonzalez is angling for more political power, while others think he genuinely feels betrayed by Henyard's leadership style. "He probably regrets ever nominating her," said one township employee who attended the meeting. Meanwhile, Henyard's supporters have a different take. They argue Gonzalez's actions are purely opportunistic, accusing him of exploiting Henyard's current challenges for his own gain. "He's just an opportunist," one supporter said. Regardless of the motivations, the growing rift between Henyard and Gonzalez has only deepened the dysfunction in Thornton Township, leaving residents caught in the crossfire.
Of fights in Thornton Township and in Dalton. Except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent off.
Adding to the tension is a profound lack of trust between Tiffany Henyard and the trustees. Henyard has repeatedly accused the board of deliberately stalling progress to undermine her, citing their failure to attend meetings as evidence. "They're sabotaging me because they know I'm fighting for the people," she declared at the meeting. They argue that Henyard's leadership style has made collaboration nearly impossible. She doesn't listen to anyone. She thinks she knows everything, and if you disagree, she'll just accuse you of being against her, one trustee commented anonymously. Welcome to episode 83 of Better Late Than Scary. This toxic dynamic has turned every decision, no matter how small, into a battleground. Further overshadowing Henyard's administration is an ongoing FBI investigation, raising serious concerns about financial mismanagement. While Henyard has denied any wrongdoing, allegations of unexplained expenses, taxpayer-funded trips, and missing funds have fueled criticism and eroded public trust, even among her former supporters. During the public comment section of the meeting, residents voiced their skepticism, questioning how they could trust Henyard amid the persistent controversies. For her part, Henyard dismissed the investigation as part of a coordinated attack against her. Yet many residents see it differently, viewing it as evidence that Thornton Township may need new leadership.
It's manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated, and when you get here, you know that's exactly what's happening.
Amid the political turmoil, the true burden falls on the residents of Thornton Township, particularly seniors who rely on essential services like transportation for dialysis appointments, grocery shopping, and medical visits. These vital programs are now at risk, leaving many residents feeling anxious and uncertain about their future. Frustrated residents emphasize that this crisis goes beyond politics. It directly affects their daily lives. Many have described the situation as both dire and embarrassing, criticizing the leadership for allowing political infighting to overshadow the township's critical responsibilities. With so much at stake, residents are left questioning when or if their leaders will put the community's needs first.
We need some action. Somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over the place.
As if the political chaos weren't enough, Thornton Township's financial troubles took center stage during the meeting. Trustees clashed over which bills should take priority, with accusations of favoritism and mismanagement flying back and forth. Critics of Supervisor Tiffany Henyard accused her of prioritizing payments to her allies while neglecting critical township expenses. She's trying to trick the board into paying her bills, one frustrated trustee claimed. Henyard, however, denied the allegations, insisting she was simply trying to keep the township afloat. The meeting also underscored the deep divisions between Henyard and the trustees. Trustee Carmen Carlisle proposed a compromise to address the insurance crisis, but Henyard dismissed the suggestion outright. "I'm not here to negotiate," she snapped. This combative attitude has become a hallmark of Henyard's leadership style, and it's clearly alienating her from the board. One trustee remarked, "She doesn't believe in collaboration. It's her way or no way." The public comment section was a dramatic display of frustration. Residents voiced their discontent, with some calling for Henyard's resignation and others demanding greater accountability from the trustees. A township employee made an emotional plea for unity, emphasizing the board's responsibility to seniors and children, a message that was met with applause from the audience. Henyard's challenges extend far beyond the boardroom. She is currently suing the Thornton Township Democratic Party, alleging that the caucus process, excluding her from next year's township supervisor election, was unfair. Henyard claims State Senator Napoleon Harris, who chaired the caucus, locked her supporters out of the venue, effectively preventing them from voting. She has framed the incident as a clear case of voter suppression, adding yet another layer of controversy to her already embattled tenure.
Has this surprised you, how much the viewership has gravitated towards this woman? Like, people from all over the world are talking about her.
State Senator Napoleon Harris has denied the allegations, asserting that the caucus process was fair and conducted according to the rules. He dismissed Henyard's lawsuit as baseless. Undeterred, Henyard remains determined to challenge the decision in court. She has also hinted at the possibility of running as a write-in candidate, if necessary, framing her efforts as a fight for democracy and a way to ensure the people's voices are heard. Henyard's critics, however, see her legal battles as yet another distraction from the pressing issues facing Thornton Township. They highlight her history of questionable financial decisions and lavish spending as evidence of her unfitness to lead. Critics also point to the ongoing FBI investigation that has implicated Henyard, her political committee, and even her defunct burger business. Adding to the controversy are allegations of taxpayer-funded extravagances, including a concert that reportedly cost over 8,500 currency units, as well as other unaccounted-for expenses. These revelations have fueled skepticism about her leadership and deepened concerns over the township's future.
Lights are off behind me, the doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed. For how long? Neither residents nor employees know at this point.
Tiffany Henyard's leadership has undeniably become a lightning rod for controversy. Even her attempt to host a bingo night during the township's financial crisis drew sharp criticism. As the meeting wore on, it became evident that no meaningful progress would be made. The trustees adjourned without approving the insurance renewal, the budget remained unresolved, and discussions on the tax levy descended into chaos. Movement has been brisk for over a year, highlighting the continued hodgepodge that separates residents from social activity. With Henyard and the trustees locked in a bitter feud, the path forward appears increasingly uncertain, leaving the community caught in the crossfire of political dysfunction.
Friday, but was met by this sign.
Okay, here I am, and they disappeared now.
The fallout from the meeting has been swift, with residents flocking to social media to voice their frustrations. One commenter wrote, "This is the most dysfunctional leadership I've ever seen. They're playing games while people suffer." Another added, "She doesn't need the trustees to get insurance. She's just using this as an excuse." So what's next for Thornton Township? Will Supervisor Henyard and the trustees find a way to work together, or will the dysfunction continue to spiral out of control? And what about the residents caught in the middle, left to deal with the fallout of this political chaos? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. If this meeting was any indication, the drama in Thornton Township is just getting started. What do you think? Can Supervisor Henyard turn things around? Or is it time for new leadership? Do you believe her claims of voter suppression? Or is this just another political ploy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.